Hello everyone and welcome to Exambi. So in this video we are going to discuss about the concept of the compaction in the memory allocation, in the fragmentation, and also we will be discussing about the non-contiguous memory allocation techniques. So earlier we had made two videos. One was one on the allocation that was happening continuous and other was the fit algorithms. So if you want to watch those videos, you can find the link in the description and you can move accordingly. After that thing, we will be discussing here these two concepts, that is the defragmentation and the non-contiguous memory allocation techniques. So as we know that during the partitioning algorithms, we saw that we are having first fit, best fit, worst fit and next fit. We were having several problems, and that problem has a name called as internal fragmentation and the external fragmentation. The internal fragmentation cannot be addressed because that particular fragmentation is happening inside a partition. Okay, and we cannot move the partition itself. Then we have this external fragmentation which was occurring on the variable partition scheme. Now what we have to do, we have to avoid this fragmentation that is only external. So remember that external fragmentation is avoided using two techniques, and that particular thing is called as the compaction or defragmentation. Compaction or defragmentation. So what happened in compaction? We'll discuss that thing. In compaction, what we are going to do, we are going to move all the process towards the top or the bottom and free the space in a single continuous block. But the compaction is very undesirable because it disturbs the execution of the process. Suppose we have this memory area and we have the partitions like this or the holes like this, and here these and these are being used, and suppose this 50 kb and this 100 kb are free. Suppose a process of 150 kb arrives to us. We can see that we have overall memory which is free of 150 kb, which is enough to satisfy and meet the demand of this P1 process, but it is being into different slots and this allocation will not be done. So we have the overall memory to satisfy the demand, but it is not achievable because these are occurring in different partition. So what we will be doing, either we will move this 100 kb block to the top or the 50 kb block to the bottom. Suppose this 50 kb is here and we move this 100 kb here, and then these two will be filled here. These two already which are being filled here. So now if the process P1 will arrive with 150 kb of request, that can be met. So here what we are going to do, we are going to move the blocks which are free into top. If we can do the similar thing, like we can move the 50 kb block, like it was 100 kb, we can move the 50 kb here and then we can get a chunk of 150 kb. So either to the bottom or to the top we have to do this, but there is one huge disadvantage of doing so, that the processes which are actually occupying the memory, they are actually executing, and to change the memory address of the processes which are executing is very undesirable. It will actually disturb the execution of the processes which are already running in the system. So the compaction is undesirable, but it addresses the need of the external fragmentation. After that thing, let us understand what we have in the non-contiguous memory allocation technique. Non-continuous memory allocation techniques. What happened here? We faced a lot of problem in the contiguous memory allocation. So now what we understand is, like, let us go to non-contiguous memory allocation, and that might fix our problem which we are actually facing. Okay, so we saw that, okay, we had compaction, but that compaction is also not very helpful for us. So what we are going to do now? So we are moving towards the non-contiguous memory. Inside it, the first topic to discuss is paging. This is very important topic. Pay a good attention to this particular topic. So what happened in paging? It is a non-contiguous memory allocation technique in which the logical memory are broken into pages. Okay, so what happened? We have two kinds of memory. One memory is called as logical memory, or you can get the logical address, and one is called as the physical memory. Physical memory or the physical address. So logical memory is associated with CPU, and physical memory is basically associated with the frames. You can also call them as frames. Here it will be called as pages. So if you say pages, so pages are basically associated with logical memory. Frames are associated with the physical memory. These are the memory where the actually the data is stored. In secondary memory. Logical memory is moreover related to the CPU memory or the RAM, you can say, or the primary memory. Okay, so now let us understand. So give this thing into your mind that pages, when I say pages, it is related to the logical memory. When I say frames, it is associated with the physical memory. So it is a technique, paging is a technique where the logical memory is broken into pages and the physical memory is broken into frames. So what happens, suppose we have this particular memory as the logical memory. We have this memory as the physical memory. Okay, now what we will be doing, we will be dividing this logical memory into pages and we will be dividing this physical memory into frames. These are pages, these are frames. Okay, now what we will be doing, to provide the mapping from the logical memory to the physical memory, we use a page table. So to make them these two connected, we use a page table. This is something called as page table. And what this page table do, it will keep the reference of page number and the frame number and it will map them accordingly. Let's say this is page 0, page 1, page 2 and page 3. Then we have this memory, physical memory like this. Okay, and so on. Suppose this is where page 2 is residing and let's say this is where page 1 is residing, page 0 is residing, let's say here page 1 is residing, we have page 3 here. So what this particular table is going to do, this particular table is going to map it. So P0, P1, P2, P3, where P0 is stored, P0 is stored at memory location 2, so it will be 2 here. Then P1 is at 4, P2 is at 1 and P3 is at 5. So this is the table which is called as page table, which will actually map the logical memory to the physical memory. Page table contains the two entries, as I said here only, the page number and the frame number. So the page number is the number of the index, whichever the index is being there, and the frame number is also called as the base address of each page in the physical memory. So basically it is also called as the base address of the each page in the physical memory. Now what is the condition? One condition is there that the frame size should be equal to page size. The sizes of the partition that are done in the physical memory and that are done in the logical memory should be of the same size. This is the basic requirement. So suppose if I say that your px, like the whole paging thing is being there, and we have the total logical memory as 16 KB and we have 4 pages here. Now tell me the size of the frame. So what you will be doing, 16 divided by 4, this will give you 4 KB. So you can say 4 KB is the size of the page, and by the logic, the condition is this, that the frame size should be equal to the page size. So the frame size which automatically will be of 4 KB. So if you know the frame size, you will automatically know the page size. If you know the page size, you will automatically know the frame size. Okay, so this is the thing that is there. Now we have some vocabulary that we use frequently in questions and also when we will be discussing the topics. The first vocabulary is related to the logical address space. Logical address space or logical memory or virtual address space. These all are same. Virtual address space. This is also called as LAS. The second thing that we use is the logical address. The third thing that we use is the physical address space or physical memory. This is also called as PAS. And the fourth thing that we have is the physical address. Okay, so this is the case. Let us take one example to understand what we mean by this thing. So let us say if I give you the logical address as 34 bits. So let's say the logical address is of 34 bits. The logical address is of 34 bits. Okay, now we know that this particular thing will be divided into two parts, but let's not go into that detail. But remember that your LAS is of this much, 34. Okay, so now how much will be the LAS? Like what will be the LAS if you have the logical address size? So this will be 2 to the power 34 words or bytes, whatever the memory notation is there, and that will be equivalent to 16 gigabytes or 16 gigawatts. Okay, so this kinds of thing appear where you will be having the logical address, that is this thing, and you will be asked this thing. Similar manner, if you have the physical address, you can get the physical address space, because every space is in binary and that too in that word. Okay, so this is the main thing. In the similar manner, let's say take one more example. If you have the logical address space, let's say equal to 112 megawords or megabytes, then what will be the logical address? So first you have to convert this number into the notation of 2 to the power. So it will be like 2 to the power 9 multiplied by 2 to the power 20. Overall it will be 2 to the power 29. So this power will be actually the size of the LA. So your LA will be equal to 29 bits. So this is the way how we actually establish the link between the logical address and the logical address space. Now there is one more definition to paging, what exactly the paging is. Okay, so paging basically, listen to me very carefully, it is the technique of mapping the processor generated address, which is called as logical address, to the physical address, which is called as paging. So we have a mapping, and this mapping is called as paging. And what this is going to do, we have the logical address. We have the logical address which is generated by the processor, and this particular thing is being mapped to the physical memory. Okay, so this is called as the paging. If you want to get a good amount of understanding of this, let's have a diagram on this as well. So as we know that CPU generates the logical address. So CPU will be generating the logical address, and we will be having the logical address. That logical address will be divided into page size and the number of bits required to represent the number of pages. So here P and D are there. So basically P is the bit required to represent the number of pages. So the number of bits required to represent the number of pages, this is the first thing that we have. Then we have D, that is called as the page size. What is the size of every page? It is also called as page offset, and it is also called as the frame size, because we know the frame size and the frame offset will be same to the page size. Now we have this particular logical address, which is be actually giving us the logical address space. What we will be doing, we will be taking the help of a page table, and this particular page table, here the concept of paging will arrive, and this particular thing will do what? It will map it to the physical address. Okay, physical address, and this physical address in combination will give us the physical address space. This too is divided into F and D. F will be the bits required to represent number of frames, and similarly this D will be this much only. So here the D are same in both of the cases, and this will be taken to the physical memory. So this is the overall representation of the paging that we do in the operating system. So this is enough for this particular video. We will be discussing the later techniques of like multi-level paging and other kind of things in the upcoming video. So for this video, this is done.